Hey, how's it going? It has been a while. We've been hibernating, as everybody has been here in Santa Cruz, because we've had a really intense winter. Lots of storms, lots of rain, unfortunately lots of destruction. But finally today is April 1st, and it actually feels like spring is springing. So we are going to start popping seeds, because we're going to embark on a new psychedelic season of growing beautiful landrace cannabis to share with you all later in the form of tincture or possibly head stash if you get to know us. So anyway, this year, first of all, I wanted to let you know what's on the menu, and we'll show you our farm out in Boulder Creek is where most of this is going to be going on. But this year, what's very exciting is we're going to be doing a lot of Southeast Asian strains, which that region tends to produce the most psychedelic, electric, really intense, uplifting cannabis. So if you think of old Thai stick, and we're talking, so we have seeds from multiple area regions of Laos, multiple regions in Thailand, so Thai, Burmese, Myanmar, that's the new name of that country, Cambodia, then we move into Indonesia, we've got some Sumatran, we've got multiple Filipino or Philippines regions. Especially what's really interesting is Kalinga is one region, and right now I think she's 106 years old, a tattoo artist from that region is being honored, so definitely look that up. Very, very, very cool. Then also Papua New Guinea, which is a little over towards Australia, but it's still in that same region. So those are the Southeast Asian moving towards New Guinea, Papua New Guinea. And then we're also going to be doing some of my old-time favorites, which are the Mexican sativas. So anyone who grew up sort of in the 80s, 90s, especially in the Midwest and such, that's where a lot of the cannabis came from, was these Mexican varieties, which were amazing, but the only thing, they were so beat up, and because of the shipping and how they were processed and such, they were pretty beat up, but still the effects were great. So I'm just very excited to grow those totally organically and then be able to cure them out in the most beautiful way to experience the true essence of those Mexican sativas. So we're talking like Sinaloa, Oaxacan. Anyway, more will come to me. Acapulco and a few other ones that have different names that don't reflect the region. And then we're doing some Brazilian, which I'm very excited about, and some Colombian. And then for our indicas, we're diving into multiple Iranian regions of Iran, Pakistan, Nepal, and Kashmir, and a few other little gems here and there. So anyway, that's our menu. So that's very exciting. But wanted to show you, just because I'm very excited, how we pop our very first seed. So this is the very first seeds we're popping of the season. And we're going to start off with a Highland Lao variety that I've already set aside here for this demonstration. So this is very exciting. Got our heady music going. Got some Grateful Dead. Jerry Rowe, Jimmy Rowe playing, so it's always good to have good vibes. Whatever your musical preference is, always puts good energy. And these seeds have been in storage for quite some time, but okay, what I just did, I poured some hydrogen peroxide, and this is just plain old Costco hydrogen peroxide, but I like to give my seeds a little bath first of hydrogen peroxide. And what that does is, one, it kind of loosens the outer shell of the seed. Not sure if it'll focus if it's quite that close, but maybe. This is a new camera too that might be really good. So, and also because seeds could be harboring bugs and other things from foreign lands that we don't want in our cannabis garden. Okay, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're just gonna start off, instead of popping all of these seeds, we're just gonna first, ooh, that one's kind of a sinker. Sometimes that means it might not be viable, but we'll see. So I'm gonna throw in one more. Anyway, and then I like putting my seeds in one of these nifty containers. Just gives it some protection. Still got my label. And then, very important, I then have my little baggie. And I know this isn't the most hippy-dippy way to pop seeds. Maybe someday we'll up our hippiness of going with no plastics or such, but I like starting things in a bag, so I'll show you how that works. But anyway, so here's a small little tiny snack Ziploc bag, and it's labeled Highland Lao. So this is from Laos, Highland region. And now, after those seeds have soaked in that and again, the hydrogen peroxide is just, and this is only 3% basic hydrogen peroxide. And if anyone else does things differently or has some tips, feel free to share them with me. This is just what I've done, and it works. So if it's not broke, I just keep doing it, but I'm always looking to improve too. And we're racing against the sun is going down here and such, but here's another thing. So I took this hippy-dippy paper towel. I like the brown because when the seeds pop, you can actually see the sprout a little better than a white paper towel. And what I have here is just warm, just well water. So if you're on city water, you're going to want to make sure and not use that because chlorine's not necessarily great for little sprouts. But we're on a well and we have really quality well water. So I use that, but I did it hot because I like my seeds to have a nice little warm little jacuzzi to jump into. We don't want to freeze them. And then I'm going to wring out some of that water. And then, and again, this is just what I do. And it works. Other people may do things differently, and that's cool. Or feel free to share if you have like tips on how to, but I usually get as long as the seeds are viable, I get almost 100% germination rate with this. So now what I'm going to do, sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I rinse the peroxide off. But you know what? This time I'm not going to. I'm just going to take throw them right in the paper towel. You still getting this? Yeah. Anyway, we're just doing this in one take. So it's not like professional instructional video, but some people have asked how we do it. So now I got wet paper towel. I did, I think 2 sections. Now I make a little sandwich. Just put it in there. Then put it in the little baggie that is labeled Highland Lao, and there we go. So, and then I put them on a plate, and I put this other plate over it, and this kind of, sorry, there's a lot to explain here, but right here is a heat mat. So a sprouted heat mat right here. So this stays nice and warm, and I use a thermostat to keep the seeds at about 89 to 92 degrees, somewhere in there, for about 36 hours. and I'll just let them sit there on this heat mat, on the seed sprouting heat mat. But it's really important that you use a thermostat, and with the thermostat you put the sensor inside the plate to make sure it doesn't get too hot and cook your seeds. So anyway, look that up if you're gonna do this. But the bottom line is you have to, especially with these tropical type seeds, they really germinate a lot better when it's warm because they're used to tropical setting. And so if it gets too cold at night especially, they're gonna get chilly. So I'm actually gonna take these indoors, put a sweater over it, and then keep it on this heat mat and make sure it stays at 89 to 92 degrees, somewhere in that range for 36 hours. And then I'll come back, open that bag, and then we'll probably have these nice popped little seeds with the little sprout coming out. And then I'm gonna transfer them to, and I'm excited about this. This is about a 1/2 to 3/4 gallon pot that we're gonna use this year, because it's really nice to put them in a pot that has some size to it so they can actually start shooting roots out for a few weeks and get really established until we transfer them to a bigger pot. So anyway, just kind of shooting a video to get rolling with the year, get things going, but really super excited about these. I think the Southeast Asian, as far as the actual effects of these plants, is probably my favorite because I like a really psychedelic, racy, electric effect most times. Not all the time, but that's my go-to, like dancing weed. So anyway, just trying to think what else. That's about all I can think of. So we're gonna start rocking on that, and then we'll just, if you're interested, we'll just keep you posted, and we're gonna kind of start getting our rhythm here with the grow season. Because man, last week it was pouring rain. Last thing I wanted to do was pop seeds, but yeah, spring is springing, so it's on. So wish you all, if you're growing this year, wish you guys a great grow season, and yeah, have fun.